high fuel economy, and cheap prices. However, some compact vehicles in general are notorious for being cramped and stripped down from many features. The new Honda HR-V puts a lot of that behind, and you may find the new HR-V to be on your shopping list for a subcompact crossover. So, let's go ahead and check out this 2016 Honda HR-V and see how it stacks up. Now, as far as styling goes on the HR-V, I think it's pretty Honda simplistic, but it's pretty much most stylish in the rear with the LED taillights and then the shark fin antenna. However, on the front end, it's pretty simplistic, and it's fairly handsome overall. It's just not the most stylish vehicle in the class, and it pretty much looks like any other crossover on the road when you're looking at it from the front end. And we are lacking some modern styling convenience features such as LED headlights or HID headlights, or we don't even have LED daytime running lights here, and we have the top of the line EXL with navigation. Now here goes the key fob for the vehicle. Love the key fob for the HR-V. Pretty high quality overall. You have your lock, unlock, and then we don't have a power tailgate, but this is to unlock it. And then you have your panic button right here too. Now it's the Milano red exterior color with smart key access on the driver's door as well as the front passenger door. And then since we do have the EXL trim here, we also do get a full-on black leather interior. Full manual driver's seat adjustments. Now stepping on inside of the HR-V here, one thing that you will certainly notice at first is that this is not a confining interior here. Despite this being a subcompact crossover, it just feels very roomy inside of here. Very spacious. And also the design of the interior is pretty high quality looking overall, and pretty stylish too. One of the most stylish interiors in the class for sure. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start, of course. And what you're hearing there is Honda's 1.8 liter inline 4-cylinder. Now you do have a full-on leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, you have a CVT automatic. You also do have a sport mode. When you kick it into the S mode here, you can shift the vehicle manually via the paddle shifters. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera with guidance signs and trajectory too, which is nice. And then you can also change different views of the camera. You have a wide angled view or normal view, and then your top down view. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators integrated onto the mirrors. You also do have 17-inch alloy wheels. Halogen headlights with your halogen fogs. Now under the hood here we have the 1.8 liter inline 4-cylinder. What you will also find in the Honda Civic, it produces 141 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 127 pound-feet of torque at 4,300 RPM. Now you can also get two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive on this vehicle. Now it also does produce EPA estimates of a pretty decent 28 in the city and 35 on the highway. Now as far as competitors go of the HR-V, like I said, you have the vehicles in the subcompact crossover class. This includes the likes of the Chevrolet Trax, Nissan Juke, as well as the Jeep Renegade and the Mazda CX-3. You have a shark fin antenna, as well as LED taillights, rear reflectors, rear window wiper with a rear window defroster as well. Now EPA estimates, like I said, are 28 city, 35 highway. Total vehicle price for this particular one is $25,470. Of course, all of your basic powered amenities, power windows, power door locks, and your power mirrors, chrome interior door handles too. Now, as far as build quality and materials go inside of the HR-V here, it's very impressive for a subcompact crossover. They didn't really put a whole lot of cheap materials inside of here. Nice soft touch materials that are wrapped in leather up here on the upper door panel and the mid door panel. Armrests too. Nice stitching as well. Up here on the dashboard, it's a hard touch plastic, but the graining feels pretty nice, and it doesn't feel like a scratchy, cheap feeling kind of plastic. Also right here you have this padded material with the molded stitching that goes throughout the whole entire dashboard. And then right here as well, you'll find the molded stitching in a soft padded material. And then build quality is pretty excellent. Everything feels sturdy for the most part. This is certainly one of the nicest interiors in the class for sure. Very impressed with this interior here. Now, one unique feature that Honda does offer is the lane watch system. Basically, it acts like a blind spot camera. And when you click on the button right here, you have a camera on the side mirror on the right one, and it shows you an image of what's on your right side. And it works pretty well. Every time you signal to the right, it'll come on. You can also turn that off if you would like. It's pretty neat. And Honda offers that pretty much in all of their vehicles. Now, coming to the infotainment system and the multimedia interface here, we have the Honda Link system, and I'm a pretty big fan of it overall, and I love it much better than the dual screen design from Honda. This is a much better infotainment system. It's pretty simple and easy to use overall. But the only gripe I have with this system really is the volume button, and I don't like how it's touch sensitive. Sometimes it doesn't work all the time, and I would much prefer just a traditional knob. Now, this is your home screen right here. Coming to your navigation, we've seen this navigation system many times before on Honda's products. They've been using this same basic design since about '03, I think. And it does work fairly well overall. It does what it needs to do, navigates. And then what I also do love is that you can swipe like this to zoom in and out, which is pretty cool. And then also you can enter in the destination by voice and all of that, of course. Now your digital clock is always going to display up on the top right there, and then you also do have a day and night mode for the touchscreen too. When you come back to the home, on the home button, it reveals the home screen again. And then coming to audio, your different audio sources include AM, FM, XM satellite radio, your CD player, which a lot of vehicles are dropping that nowadays, your USB port, iPod integration, Pandora Internet Radio, AHA Internet Radio, which you can access through your smartphone data connection, and then you have your auxiliary input, Bluetooth streaming audio, and your HDMI input. I also do love how they put a back button right here. Overall, the responsiveness of the touchscreen is just very superb. Coming to the phone, you can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have your speed dial and your call history and all that. Coming to settings, you can change many different settings like the camera, phone, system, Bluetooth, audio settings, navigation settings, many different settings you could change. On the navigation system, we also do have live traffic as well. You can look at your Bluetooth device list, and then you have your camera, like your Honda Lane Watch and all that good stuff in the rear view camera. Go back to the home screen. Coming to info, basically this shows you your instant fuel economy, your average fuel economy data, gives you a little bar right there, and then your fuel range as well, and then the history of your trip too. You can delete the history as well. The responsiveness of this touchscreen is just lightning quick. Now coming to the Honda Link Connect, you have to have your Bluetooth phone hooked up, of course, but that's where you can access all of your different apps through your smartphone, which is pretty cool. So overall, love this touchscreen interface. The only thing that they do need to change is this volume swipe button right here. Now coming up here, you have your auto-dimming rearview mirror, your sunroof with your sunroof controls. Headliner is a little cheap feeling, kind of feels like a cardboard. Right here you have your electronic parking brake, and then cup holders, which are very deep, I have to say. And then down there you have your center console storage. And then the lid is nice and soft touch at least. As far as seating comfort goes in the vehicle, the seating comfort is pretty good overall. I would probably take this vehicle on a long road trip for sure. The seats are decently plush, and they don't feel too firm at all. And then the side bolstering is pretty good too. Thigh support is overall decent, especially for a subcompact crossover. Now as far as visibility goes in the HR-V, it's okay. It's certainly not the best in the subcompact crossover class. There is a decent amount of side glass area from the front windows. Outward visibility is okay. But when you get to rearward visibility, it can be a little bit of a challenge. Thankfully, you do have that Honda lane watch system, and then the rear view camera also does come standard. Now coming to your climate controls down there, we have single zone automatic climate control. And then all of these buttons down here are touch sensitive, but they do work pretty well. They're decently responsive. Now you do have your temperatures right here. As you can see, it's pretty lightning quick. And then you have your fan speeds. Very simple and easy to do. And then your different modes. And then you have your automatic mode too. And then your recycling, front window defroster, rear window defroster. And we also do have heated seats, two-staged, for the driver and the passenger. But overall, these touch-sensitive buttons are how every vehicle should be. They are very responsive. Now coming to the steering wheel design, it is fairly stylish overall, and it's your typical Honda steering wheel except for this black trim right here, but it's pretty stylish. Now you do have your voice recognition and your Bluetooth phone controls. Steering wheel mounted audio controls are right here, and then your cruise controls. Pretty basic. And then coming down here, we also do have your manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel for greater comfort. Down there we also do have a HDMI input, USB port, and another one too. Two USB ports down there, and then a little decent storage cubby down there. Now coming to the gauges, they're pretty simplistic overall. However, the font on them are pretty bold, clear, and easy to read. You have your speedometer right there in the center, and then your RPM gauge, and then what gear you're in. Down there we also do have your fuel gauge, and then your trim information, as well as your fuel range. Your digital clock is right there, and then your MPG. Pretty nice. Now as far as driving dynamics go of the HR-V, it feels very similar to what you'll find in many other Hondas. The ride is pretty agreeable overall, and then the handling is decently precise, but this certainly I don't think is the most sportiest offering in the class. I do think that the Mazda CX-3 as well as the Nissan Juke are a little bit more sportier. And then the 1.8 liter doesn't pack a whole lot of punch. It's more about fuel economy here. And it doesn't feel anemic, however, it's just not the most powerful in the class. It doesn't set your soul on fire, in other words. But overall, driving dynamics are okay for the HR-V. And let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Now, cargo capacity in the HR-V is pretty top of the class here. There's a decent amount of cargo space. The rear seats also do fold down to maximize cargo space, of course, by just doing this and then pushing the seat right down. It's a very simple mechanism. However, don't expect a power tailgate to be available on the HR-V just yet. The Honda CR-V just got that for the 2015 model year. Now, one complaint I do have with the HR-V is that they did mount the door handle on top of here instead of just like a normal door handle like that one. And that can make it hard for children to reach sometimes. Not a big fan of that little feature right there. Now, build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. Still very nice and soft touch. Very impressed. And then this is nice and soft touch on the armrest, mid-door panel, and upper door panel. It's nice and stitched too. And you do have chrome door handles back here. Now, sitting back here, you'll find this to be certainly one of the most spacious subcompact crossovers. It's even more spacious than some compact crossovers. I have lots of legroom to spare, and I have the driving position to where mine would be at. And this is not a confining feeling interior. It's just very roomy feeling. I feel like I can kind of spread out. The headroom is not too shabby either. I have a decent amount of headroom. And then the seats are very comfortable inside of here. The thigh support is pretty good, and then these seats just provide a decent amount of support. Overall, it's a very comfortable vehicle. I would certainly take a long road trip in this vehicle. However, one complaint I do have is that they don't have a center folding armrest. But the amount of legroom in this headroom this vehicle has certainly makes up for that. And we also do have a single mount pocket, a 12-volt power outlet, and your cup holder back there. Alright. Full manual passenger seat. glove box compartment. It's also nice and damped. So the 2016 Honda HR-V is an excellent choice for a subcompact crossover. It's high quality and very spacious interior, as well as its very versatile cargo area, and its well-rounded driving dynamics make it a very superb choice. Not to mention you do have the Honda reliability and the resale value too. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.